Welcome to your Friday lesson for college and career composition. I hope your week went well, and hopefully you're turning in any late work or redoing any work that you need to, so that next Friday on the 16th, you won't have to be rushing and trying to turn in a bunch of assignments all at once. So try to pace yourself, try to turn things in on time as much as you can. And please let me know if you need help because Q1 ends next week, okay? So I'm just gonna really quickly introduce you to something that we're gonna do for the next few weeks. And it's called Engaging in the Civil Conversation Challenge. I happened upon this a couple weeks ago, and I thought that it was just perfect for our class because two of the goals for our class is one, that you are aware, at least basically aware, of current events happening around you, and two, that you are able to make good arguments and have civil conversations. What do I mean by civil conversations? I mean to be able to talk about things with other people who may not necessarily agree with you or have a similar background as you, in a way that is not divisive, in a way that is not fueled by emotion or hate or ridicule. And so just being able to talk to someone, in ways that are effective. So we're going to practice that through this challenge that the New York Times posted just a few weeks ago. So here's what I want you to do for the first challenge. The first thing you're going to do is I'm going to link this page on the Google Classroom. Now, if you responded to the New York Times subscription email that I sent last Thursday, then nothing else will show up except this page because you will have full access to the New York Times for this whole school year. However, if you did not respond to that email that I sent last week, there's probably going to be a little pop-up saying, you have 4 more views available to you this month or something like that. That's because you do not have a subscription. So if you get here and there's a little pop-up or something, or if you can't access it for whatever reason, that means that you need to go back through your school email, find the New York Times subscription email that I sent you last Thursday, make sure you verify that email. There's just like a button that you have to press. And because we will be accessing the New York Times a couple times this month, so you will need that full subscription to do all your activities and get all your points for this class. So hopefully you have your subscription now, and I'm posting a link to this page on Google Classroom. So you're going to click on it and come here. And the first thing you're going to see underneath the title is this video called What Does America Stand For? That needs to be your first stop. So I want you to watch the whole thing. I think this is an incredibly interesting video. I've watched it a couple times already, and it's so interesting because these are all teenagers that responded to this New York Times question of what does America stand for? And they just have so many different responses to it. So you really just have like a very diverse set of teenage voices saying what they believe and why. And so I want you to take it all in. I want you to hear what they have to say and think about like, who do you identify with the most here? Like, who do you most agree with and why? Do you have a similar background? Do you see the world in a different way or a similar way? So definitely watch that first. Then when you're done with that, I want you to just, you don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I want you to just skim through the article here, okay? You do not have to read the articles that they post. You surely can if you want, but I know that your time is limited right now. So just read some of the excerpts that they have from these articles, okay? It's going to start having your brain kind of think about, okay, what do I think America is for, and what are some of my political beliefs, even if you're someone who says, I'm not really into politics. Okay, so just skim through this article, kind of see what observations they make using these other articles. And then when it says students, after watching the video above and reading any or all of the articles, please tell us. This is where I want you to really read, because this is what it's asking you to respond to in the comments on this article. Okay, that's going to be your first challenge for your civil discussions challenge. All right, so it's going to ask you, how would you describe yourself? You can, tell in your comments, you can put as much as you want. You can just say, I'm a person from Ohio or whatever, or you can be a little bit more descriptive. You can talk about your backgrounds, your hobbies, things like that. And then how do you think your identity has informed your political beliefs? So again, even if you say, well, I'm not really into politics, why are you not really into politics, right? Explain why you think that, okay? And what is it about who you are that might affect your views on any of the issues in the 2020 election? Ask yourself, what, if any, of the teenagers in the video or profiled in these articles remind you of yourself, and why? How difficult is it for you to talk about divisive, meaning like controversial, hard to talk about political issues with people your age who may not share your beliefs? And then just think about the fact that, again, even if you say that you are really not into politics, that you don't pay attention to them, the things that are happening to you right now and the things that are happening in the world affect your political views. And so, it may make you not want to pay attention. It may make you want to avoid the news and avoid the presidential debates and things like that. But there's a reason behind that, right? And so just kind of think about why that is. And then in future civil conversations, they'll be asking you to weigh in on several different issues that are very controversial in our country right now, such as the response to COVID, voting rights, race and racial justice, the future of education, and so on. We will be doing a couple of those. But this one is just pretty much an introduction and kind of saying like what your political beliefs are and why do you think you have those beliefs currently. And then, of course, you can also like include something a little more lighthearted, like what you've been binge watching, or, what's your favorite food, and what would you be if you weren't a student right now. So I know that's a lot. You don't have to respond to every single thing, but try to get a couple of these in. And of course, make sure you're describing yourself because that's like the main point of this first conversation. And then they do have rules for their civil conversation challenge. They're doing this through October 30th. You can post comments, but you can also respond to other students' comments from around the world. They need to follow the commenting standards. And basically what these are, folks, you can click on them for more information, but you can't be rude. You can't use swear words. You should not be attacking the person that you're commenting on. You should not be, name calling or anything like that. So keeping it civil, right? Keeping it polite and focusing on the issues, not the people, if that makes sense. Okay. So you can click on that if you want more help, but pretty much, don't be a jerk, right? Submission should show evidence of listening and attempting to understand other points of view, right? So when you post a comment, you're going to scroll down to the bottom of this article, and where it says read 1,278 comments, or however many comments there will be when you click on this, you are going to click on that button. And then this is going to pop up on the side, and this is where you post your conversation. So you have to click on the top to have this pull down here. For your name, you can just put your first name or your last name if you want, up to you, but one or the other or both. And then location, you can put the state, you can put the town in the state, but you don't have to get any more descriptive than that, right? Your privacy is important. So I would just put Ohio. Okay. And then in this box is where you're going to put your comments. So if I were you, I would go back up to the questions they were asking here. So how would I describe myself? Tell some things about my identity. How do you think your identity has informed your political beliefs? And then did any of the people in the video remind you of yourself and why? And then I might also mention this: how difficult is it for you to talk about divisive political issues with people your age who may not share your beliefs? So again, you don't have to use everything, but try to get a few in. I'm going to write my comments. Please make sure that you're following basic grammar, punctuation rules. Please make sure that you're using complete sentences. And then you will hit submit. You can write up to 1,500 words. You definitely don't have to write that much, but you can keep going if you would like. Before you hit submit, make sure that this box is checked. The email me when my comment is published box, okay? Make sure that's checked before you hit submit, because that is the way that you're going to show me proof that you did this activity, okay? So let's pretend that I wrote all my stuff here. I've made sure this box is checked. I'm going to hit submit. And then in about a minute or less, in your school email, you will receive an email saying, hey, you commented on this article in the New York Times. What you will then do with that email is you will forward it to my email at damon@horizontoledo.org, and that will be your proof that you completed this assignment. And that is the only way that I will give you points for this assignment, is if I receive that forwarded email from the New York Times saying that you commented on this post, okay? For this first one, I'm just asking that you post an original post, okay? You do not necessarily have to respond to other posts yet. You will in the future. But just so you know, everyone else's comments are here below. You can choose the all function where you're going to get the most recent posts first, or you can click on reader picks. And reader picks are the posts that other people in the group recommended should be read, right? They thought it was just extra interesting, or, they think it's one that you should comment on. So if you find a comment like that you think more people should read, you can hit recommend, and that'll post it in the reader picks section, okay? If you do want to reply to other people, all you have to do is read their post and then hit the reply button, and it will automatically at that person so that they can see how you responded to their post, okay? So that's all I've got for you. I hope you have fun doing this. Like I said, we will be doing a couple of these challenges during the month of October, so make sure we're being civil. Share only as much information as you want. I want you to be able to keep your privacy here, so only share what you're comfortable with sharing. Make sure that you forward me the email from the New York Times when you have published your post, and that's it. So please let me know if you have any questions, and I can't wait to see what you post in the comments here. Thank you, and have a great day.